Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, holy moly, in the midst of the entire world just commenting and reacting to BlizzCon and the Diablo news of the weekend, we've got private leagues coming to POE. So let's take a look. This announcement just came down from Chris. Next week, we'll announce Path of Exile 3.5.0, our largest expansion this year. In the meantime, we have a smaller announcement to make today. Ever since the start of Path of Exile's development, we plan to add support for players to pay for the creation of a private league for them and their friends to play in. We're pleased to announce that we will start making these private leagues available for purchase next week. These leagues allow you to add mods that make Path of Exile more challenging for you and your friends. We've got customizable leagues, people. Holy mo! Is it going to be? You're going to have to pay for it. Okay, so before we all get out our haterade, let's finish. This is amazing. We designed private leagues with the needs of two groups of players in mind. The first group is players who want a more challenging Path of Exile experience. The second is players who want to see how far they and their friends can get without outside influence from the rest of the league. Private leagues will be fun for content creators who want to create an entertaining stream or video by playing Path of Exile on obscenely difficult settings, potentially alongside members of their communities. So like, hey, if we want to have a G3 patrons only league, we could do that. That's amazing. Philosophically, it's important to us that private leagues don't make the game easier. That's what makes special events like Flashback, Turmoil, and Mayhem are for. We'll continue to run special events like these in the future. Pricing. The private leagues cost 120 points to create. That's not a lot, folks. By default, they last 10 days and have 10 player slots. Additional blocks of 10 player slots can be purchased for 60 points. Additional blocks of 100 player slots can be purchased for 600 points. Additional blocks of 10 days can be purchased for 60 points. Additional blocks of 30 days can be purchased for 180 points. Additional mods that make the game more challenging can be added for free at League creation. This is awesome. So if you guys want to play Breach League, you can go do it. You want to go play Essence League, you can go do it. You want to take away all the leagues and just, have a custom, like, really hard, tough experience, you can do that. You can add additional player slots and days at any time once the league has started. Currently, you can't extend a league beyond 2 months in length as the system is new and we are still experimenting with it. League difficulty modes. All right, during league creation, the following mods can be added at no additional cost. Mods that separately increase monster damage, life, speed, elemental damage, and number of projectiles. These mods often come in several tiers and make monsters harder in various ways. You can add whichever combination of these mods you desire to increase the challenge of monsters in the league. That's awesome. So potentially you could have, like, baby league, even more difficult league, like, there's going to be multiple tiers of league. Like, the forums are going to get overrun with people being like, oh, I want to sign up for that league. Oh, which league are you playing in? Like, people are going to connect with each other over which league they're playing. This is exciting. Reduced player resistances. Having a blanket resistance penalty not only makes combat harder, but also increases the difficulty of finding a set of perfect gear that meets all your resistance needs. No stashes. This one is for the true masochist. Without the ability to store items for later, characters in a no stashes league need to live off the land with constraints that make completing Path of Exile a lot more challenging. Currency would be utterly priceless or garbage in that kind of league. Like, I guess you just, like, pick it up, use it on something, and then walk away. I don't know. That's really interesting. You can parent to an SSF league to disable trade, guaranteeing that your characters are fully self-sufficient. No magic or rare item drops. In leagues of this type, you can only find normal and, at their usual rate, unique items. So you have to use every currency item you find to add mods to your gear. Okay, so that's just like the crafting league. Like, you just drop bases. That's actually kind of cool. You'll find yourself actually using orbs of transmutations, running out of essences, and treasuring every chaos orb for its intended purpose. Trade values of currency items will likely be extremely different in leagues like this due to opportunity cost. No vending. In a no vending league, you can't buy items from or sell items to NPCs in town. You're still able to complete quest objectives, but can't rely on vendor recipes or NPC shops to gear up. Famine. In famine leagues, your life, mana, and energy shield and flasks do not refill when you go to town. This can be added alongside other mods to create the ultimate live off the land league. Oh, interesting. We have plans for even more mods to add to the system, such as item durability. Oh, where item quality can become negative with use and the item is destroyed when it hits -20. Now, I personally don't like that in games. Just FYI. Those of you that enjoy items that you have to repair, I don't enjoy that, but that's a cool concept that they're adding it. Just because I don't personally like it doesn't mean other people in the PoE experience won't. That's going to be cool, actually, to see other people tinker with that. Many of these existing mods can be designed to create leagues that are like the Iron Man modes that players enjoyed with old-school action RPGs in the 90s. Adding durability, turning off vendors, flask refills, and stashes lets you test yourself using only the items that Raid class serves up to you. Alternatively, you could add a pile of punitive monster mods and experience extremely tough combat in a fresh economy. With mods like these, even the existing campaign and low maps can be made extremely challenging for our best players. Once a league has started, the mods cannot be changed. This is so that players who complete difficult objectives in the league can easily demonstrate that all the mods were present at the point that it was achieved. Crowdfunding. When creating a league, you can choose to crowdfund the payment. Players invited to the league can contribute points towards the cost. Once the crowdfunding has completed, the league will be created. You can also crowdfund later editions of time or player slots in the same way. Private league challenges. When you create a private league, you can choose to base it off any of the core, permanent, or challenge leagues that are currently running. It will gain all the properties of the league you based it off of. If you parent your league to a challenge league, you will be able to do the challenges from that league in your private league. That's pretty cool. So rather than, running on it, this is essentially running like almost like a semi SSF, kind of guildy only SSF sort of thing. Players in a private league are able to voluntarily migrate their characters or entire league state out of the parent league, just like with regular SSF leagues. Because these private leagues only make the game harder, this presents no fairness issues to the economics that they are moving their characters into. If the league is parented to a current challenge league and that challenge league ends, it loses its challenge league properties and then becomes parented to regular, standard, or hardcore. Cool. Trade API. Private leagues are exposed to regular trade APIs and will be indexed by both community trade sites and Path of Exile /trade. Okay, that is great. So that means that we're still going to be able to do normal trades and trade functions and trade search in Path of Exile. So that's pretty awesome. For now, private leagues are a PC-only feature. We expect them to launch on Xbox One in the future once we have support for them there. This post was a general overview and doesn't go into a lot of the granular details about the system. If you have any questions, please reply with them and we'll try to answer them in an FAQ about private leagues on the day that we release them. We're expecting it to be sometime next week. This is coming next week and they've not even teased this. This is... Okay, bravo. Okay, so first off, I'm going to post the link down here at the bottom of the YouTube video. But let us know what you would like in a private league, like right away. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you'd like in a private league, because we'll probably test one out starting next week, because they're going to release one next week. So we'll probably try one for a couple of weeks and see what it's like. And of course, it'll have Delve, because they've said, hey, if it's during a challenge league and the challenge league for Delve is still going on, we can still add Delve. Which would be really awesome. A lot of players have said, hey, let's do the delve only experience where you're basically only delving and getting sulfite. We don't see anything from that yet, so I would ask that in the thread. And I'll be looking over the next couple of days if anybody asks a couple of these questions. So if you've got a question for Chris, do like he said, like drop it in the thread. Again, the thread is going to be down below if you click the more info. And you go past all of our spammy self-promotion stuff like and subscribe and go to our Patreon site. If you look beyond all of that, if you look at the very bottom, there will be the forum listing where you can go and ask a question to Chris and to the team, just so that way they have a chance to look at it and reply over the next week. But this is going to be awesome. Bravo, GGG. On a weekend when everyone is hating on Blizzard, GGG once again comes through and announces private leagues for all of us action RPG enthusiasts. Good job, GGG. You once again win the weekend. Wow. I'm just gotta go get theory crafting for my builds for this private league. This is gonna be great.